right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hi, 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 hi. Good night. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. My name is Mr. Charles, and well, I normally do this every Sunday night, so it's not uncommon for me to be here. Normally, there are a lot of students in this live chat. This time, there are a lot of parents, there are a lot of teachers, and there are going to be a lot of students also, because we are all looking for a way to manage our online learning, right? So I am 3 minutes early. So what I want to do is, the first thing I want to ask you is, I want you to, first of all, share the link. So you will see a little arrow that says share. So in your WhatsApp groups, just like you would have shared and forwarded the video from Facebook, share that in all the groups, because some people don't know how to share a video. And the next thing that you need to do is you need to like the video, because the more you like it, the more it will spread to other people. So if you're on your phone, just click the little X, and then you will see like. Click the like button, which is usually a thumbs up, like that. Once you click the like button, you will be able to see the likes. Well, you'll like the video, and then you can come back to the live chat, because the live chat is important. So I have some moderators in the live chat, which will be some of my original students who would have started when I started my channel, and they will be moderating some of the chats that happen. And when people say things, well, usually when you're on YouTube, you get weird characters from time to time, and they say weird stuff or bad things, and they kind of disrupt the whole chat. So the moderators may mute you if you are very disruptive. So let me just get this out of the way. Right, so some people may be calling me, some people may not know what to do. I can't answer the phone because, well, you know, this is how it goes. So let's start. First thing you're going to do is you're going to share the chat. So you click the share button and you share it with everybody. And then the next thing that you're going to do is make sure you like the video, because when you like the video, more people will get the notification. More people that get the notification, the better off it will be, and the video will propagate to more people, because that's just how YouTube works. And well, I always have a meme as my picture for the start of any live class, and the meme is teach online. How? Because everybody is saying, well, we should teach online, but we don't actually know how. And a lot of people are struggling to figure out how to do it. So, as a not true Trini, I am going to start on time, because I don't have time to waste, and I don't like to waste time at all. So I'm going to introduce you to my moderators. The moderators in the chat, they will be Jarvis Ram Charita, aka Officer Pork from Instagram. Jared Jaglal, he's Jared. Ren, long for Ren, whatever. I can't remember the Ren real name. Spanish, he's known by Spanish to me as a student. And Gio, one of my past upper 6 students. They will be moderating. So you will see the moderators in the chat. And they will be saying, they'll be letting you know what to do, when to do it, and what not to do. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to start with me. So let's talk about online teaching. Alright, so when you think about online teaching, you think about the internet. And the first thing we have to consider when we have to go online is, where do we get internet from? So the internet must be reliable, and the internet must be fast. Because it wouldn't make any sense, no sense at all, for you to have online teaching and you can't access the internet and you can't get fast internet. For those of y'all that haven't liked the video as yet, just click the X on your chat, like the video, and come back to the video, right? I appreciate it. Right, so how do we get reliable internet? How do we get fast internet? Now, we have many service providers in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. You choose your service provider, whether it's the blue one, whether it's the red one, or whether it's the, what's the next color? The next color is green, right? Yeah, whether it's the green one. Whichever one you choose, you're going to have a problem because you're going to have to make sure that wherever you are, that all of them meet the requirements of being reliable and fast. How fast does it need to be? Well, fast, I recommend that you have at least 20 MBS, right? MBS, right? Remember, this is for beginners. If you know about these things already, then you're probably in the wrong live. But I'm trying to reach the lowest common denominator of people who really don't know anything and they want to know. So we're starting off with internet. Your internet, I recommend you have at least 20 megabits per second and up. If you have 3 to 5 people connecting, so let's say if you have 1 to 2 people connecting at your house or at your location, if you have 2 children or whatnot, 20 megabits should be good enough to get them to do what they need to do. I'll get into speeds a little more later, right? 3 to 5 people, however, the next available you'll probably need to get is up to like 30 to 50 MBS. Right, 30 to 50 megabits per second would mean that you need to get the children to be able to connect at that speed. And then, of course, if you are in the very odd case where you have 5 to 10 people doing online classes inside of your home, you may want to get something like 75 to 100 MBS, right? Megabits per second. Alright, so the first thing that we're dealing with is internet speed, starting at the lowest possible thing. If your internet speed is lower than that, you should just kind of gauge the amount of people that you have, right? So let's say you have 5 to 10 people, that's the speed you want to get, 75 to 100. If you have 3 to 5 people, 30 to 50. If you have 1 to 2, you should get 20, and that should be able to work. Alright, everybody should be good with that. Now, this is only one piece of the puzzle. Fast internet is only one piece of the puzzle. You need to be able to have reliable internet also. And reliable internet also is oh, somebody asked about upload speed versus download speed right here. So all these are download speeds, right? So down and up. Right, so I just put in download speeds because in terms of your upload speeds, most of them will only give you like 5 MBS up, right? So you'll get 5, 10 up, 15 up. I don't think they're going to give you anything else besides that. So if you're going through internet speeds and they're telling you something about, well, you're getting 20 down and then 5 up, or 30 down and 10 up, you just need to kind of understand, well, upload speed is when you want to share your video. But the most important part is what I have in red there, which is the speeds for your download, right? So download speeds. Good. So we're looking for the download speeds there, and right. So we dealt with the download speeds. Now let's deal with the reliable part, right? What makes your internet speed reliable? Well, the reliable part is going to come down to the your router. So many people get like fast internet, right? So they get fast internet, they pay for the speed and whatnot, and they pay for that, and then they realize things not working out too well because our internet speed says, we say that we're supposed to get 75, but we only get 10 or something like that. Most of the times the problem is the router, because the router is the issue. For those of y'all that haven't liked the video yet, I encourage you to like the video, because the more you like it, the more people are going to see it on YouTube after the fact, right? So if you haven't liked it as yet, just click the little X and you should be able to like the video. I'll show you all a demonstration of how to like the video, because apparently we're not too sure. Alright, so this is what the screen would look like when you're on a phone, right? So you'd have the chat. So what you want to do is you want to click the X. When you click the X, you will see the like button, and then when you see the like button, you click like, and then you could click back live chat, and live chat will bring back the chat, right? So if you're on a phone, just click the X on your right hand side here. The X will go away. You click the like button, which will be the tick, and then you will go back to click live chat, and then you can come back and see the chat, right? So that's just for you all who not sure how to like the video, because the more likes it gets, the further it will go, and the more people will actually get help from it. So I will jump back to me now, right? Right, so we're talking about speed. So remember, 1 to 2 people in your household, 20 megabits, 3 to 5, 30 to 50, 5 to 10, 75 to 100, and you should be good. No problem at all, right? The next problem is reliability. In order to get good reliability, you need to have a good router. The problem is that when you get your default, router from the service provider, that default router is like lame. So the basic router could only handle like 6 to 10 clients properly. Meaning, in your home, you might have a smart TV, you might have have 2 phones, you might have a tablet, you might have a laptop, you might have a next smart TV. All those things count as devices. And once they count as devices, the router has to be able to handle that. The basic router that you get with your internet package is not good enough for that. So you have to buy an external router. You know, the one that has the little antennas, right? So an external router. An external router will take the connection that you have, and it will plug the connection into the external router, and then your internet becomes reliable. So remember, for internet, you need 2 major things. You need the internet to work properly, and then you need the internet to be reliable and fast. Fast internet determines on what you pay for from whichever company, whether it's the blue company, the red company, or the green company. You pay for your internet and make sure you get that, and then get your router. So in order to test your internet speeds, the best thing for you to do is go to a site called speedtest.net. So I'm going to show you that. Speedtest.net, right? When you go to speedtest.net, it will show you a list of servers, and it just have this big button called Go, right? So when you press Go, it's going to tell you who you are connected with, so you can see that my internet service provider is Flow, right? And when I press Go, and then connected to that. So when I press Go, it's going to try to run a speed test and tell me how fast my internet is. So right now I'm doing a speed test, and you can see that my internet is currently running at 28, maybe 30 megabits per second. 35, it's trying to get up to 40, it might go a little higher, right? Now my official internet speed is supposed to be 100 megabits per second, but because I am streaming right now, and there are many other devices in my house that are connected, which will be like a TV, which will be a phone, which will be like my phone is connected, my wife's phone, my children, all the devices are connected. So I have more than 10 devices connected. That's why I have 100 megabits home. So me getting 55 megabits per second as the download right now is good, because it's going to give me the ability to do what I need to do, which is stream to you all. All right, so that's the first part of the outline, which is internet speed. So I'll just write on the left hand side here the things that we covered, right? So we cover 1, internet speed. Because if you don't have the internet, there's no way you can do online learning. It just wouldn't make sense, right? All right, so the next thing that we're going to do now is an account. Right. Now, in order for your child to be able to connect, they're going to need to have an account on some sort of service. So the first service, the services I'm going to try to go through today will be Google Classroom. I'm going to try to go through Edmodo. And then we're going to go to the streaming stuff, which will be like Zoom and then Meet. And then after Meet, I will try to touch on Teams, Microsoft Teams. Right? And what we're going to try to do, is we're going to try to break it down in a sort of matrix that will help you understand what is going on. So I'm going to break it down into lower primary, upper primary, and then secondary to see how each one of them can be used for the different platforms that you're going to use, right? So let's start with Google Classroom. First thing I need to do is get an account. So let's work out how this account going to work. There are two ways that the account could work. You could have an account and you could create a parent account. And you as the parent will be the one that represents the child on that platform. Then you could also create a child account. Child accounts means that the children or the child will be able to log in, and you will have the ability to get to, well, they will be able to self-manage themselves. Usually secondary school children, they could self-manage themselves. That is kind of easy, right? So parent accounts and child accounts. Now the problem is, let's start with lower primary. Lower primary, this is from like first year to, I would say, standard 1. First year to standard 1, right? These sorts of children, they're going to have a parent account. Because you can't create an account. Well, you could create an account for a 7-year-old, but it will be unnecessary because creating an account for a 7-year-old may not be the best thing I should do unless you know what you're doing in terms of managing it, because then you will be giving them an account that will be able to go on the internet and do whatever they want, and that's not really going to make any sense. So in lower primary, you'll create a parent account. Upper primary, you could create a student account, a child account, sorry. And then secondary, well, a child account also, right? Let me just add a column to the left here. Right. So basically, we're trying to say what type of account you should have if you're going to use Google Classroom. So the Google Classroom you're going to use is, for lower primary, a parent account. A parent account is simple. You go to gmail.com and you create an account. Let me show you how to create an account, right? So I go to gmail.com. Now remember, what I'm doing here is for everybody. So if you know how to create a Gmail account, that's good to know. And I'm glad that you are able to do it on your own and you don't need to see this. That's okay. But remember, there are people out here who don't know how to create a Gmail account. So when you go to gmail.com, you're going to see either sign in with a Gmail account that you have already, or you will go to create an account. When you go to create an account, it could say for myself or to manage my business. Of course, you're going to choose myself. When you choose myself, you'll get this option here. First name, last name, and then a particular username. So let's say my username is, let me get a name, Andre Charles is my name, right? Andre Charles. What is going to happen is I'm going to try to create a Gmail address, which is andrecharles@gmail.com. But what will happen? It will automatically tell me Andre Charles is taken by another user. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to create a Gmail address with some sort of name. So Andre Charles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that taken? No, it's not taken. So you're going to try to create a Gmail address for your needs on Google Classroom. Because if you don't have a Gmail address, then you won't be able to connect to Google Classroom. You need to have that. Now the good thing is, anybody that has an Android phone, you already have a Gmail account. So if you have an Android phone, you most likely have a Gmail account already and you have access to the Play Store. So you are basically there. But you need to know the password for it and you need to log into it. For those of you all that haven't liked the video already, I encourage you to just close the chat off if you're watching on your phone. like the video and then come back to the chat, right? Because more people that like the video, the further the video will spread on YouTube, and we know people need this information. So you could just do your part by liking, and you will be able to share it, and the video will share by itself without you having to share it. And if you are capable of clicking share and sharing it in your WhatsApp groups or whatnot, please do so, because that will make it spread further. And the further it spreads, the less problems we will have with online learning. All right, so back to online learning. Right, good. So we create an account. Now, when we create this account, it's going to ask us to do some things to create a password or whatnot. Right, so you're going to go through this process. You're going to create the password. Once you create the password, you will have a Gmail account. And once you have that Gmail account, you will be able to log in. And once you log in, you should be able to get to all that you need for this child, right? So, just to recap, the account type you need for lower primary is a parent account. Why do you need a parent account for lower primary? Because in lower primary, you are going to be managing a lot of the work that they have to do. So, parent manages most of the work the child has to do, right? So I'm doing this in a document here because I want to share this document after as like a PDF of all the things that I would have covered, right? In upper primary, it's a mixed management where child is given some autonomy, right? Autonomy would mean that where the child is given the ability to manage some of the work that they have to do, but the parent still has to look at it. And in the child account for secondary, it's also mixed, but less parent involvement. More supervision, right? Good. So this is basically what we're going to look for in Google Classroom. You need to create a parent account. If you're doing upper primary, you need to create a child account. If you're doing secondary, you need to create a child account. The problem is now when you go to create an account on Google, a Gmail address for this particular person, you would need to understand how to create a child account. To create a child account, you're going to have to declare that the child is under 13. Once you declare that the child is under 13, then a parent is going to have to sign in to say that you are that child's parent. So in order for the child account to work, you're going to have to declare that the child is under 13, because you can't create an email address that is under 13 and not have it recorded as a child. If you do that, well, then you'll be lying, and then you'll kind of create a Gmail account that says that the child is 13, but they may actually be 7. And the problem with that is when you create the account, if you create a child account, right, and you say that the child is actually 7, but you create one for a 13-plus-year-old, then when they go to YouTube, they will see content that is over 13. And that will be a problem, because you, when you create any Gmail account, didn't want to go through the process of creating it for a child, because once you create it for a child as under 7, they will get YouTube Kids. And if they get YouTube Kids, the content is going to be very tailored towards them. So if you're creating your account and you lie and say that the child is over 13, then you'll just have to deal with something later on when the content that the child gets is more adult-based, right? So creating a Gmail account, you must have a Gmail account, right? Once you have this Gmail account now, once you have this @Gmail account, you are afforded many different services. And one of the services that you are afforded is Classroom. Free Classroom. Right, so free Google Classroom is going to give you the ability to have a classroom that is available for students and teachers. So if you're an adult, you'll go in the free classroom as a teacher. If you are a student, you will go in as a child. Okay? So we should be good so far. And now with this Gmail account, I'm going to now demonstrate how Google Classroom should work, right? Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is sign in with your Gmail account and go to classroom.google.com. And you will see all your classes that are available. And I have a test classroom up here, but for the sake of everybody, I know a lot of you all know how to sign into Google Classroom already, and you'll want to know the advanced things. I'll give you all information about the advanced things just now. Once I reach half an hour, I'll take a break and ask some questions, and I'll tell you all how we're going to move forward with this, right? So I had to go on TTT recently, and I did a test classroom with TTT Live and whatnot, and that was created. And then I would have done the student and teacher part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a Google Classroom as a teacher. So we're starting with teacher. But parents, you need to understand what is going on. You need to see how this thing works, because as a teacher, you're going to see what a parent has to go through. Okay? So you're going to Google Classroom. So you're going to classroom.google.com. When you go to classroom.google.com, as a teacher, you will have no classes, right? Right now, I have some of my classes here, because these are like my lessons classes that I teach. When you go to Google Classroom, on the top right-hand side, there is this plus. Now look at the plus. You see that plus there? That plus, when you click on it, it will ask you join class or create class. If you are a teacher, you're going to click on create class. When you click on create class, you're going to create a class like that, and it will give you this notification. This notification is telling you that if you're using this for free and not with a school, we just letting you know that we don't have any control over what goes on inside here. So usually, most people are just click the checkbox and be like, all right, continue. So you click continue, and the first thing that you have to do is you have to give it a class. So I'm going to name this classroom Test YouTube Live Classroom. Right? In my experience, you don't need to fill out section, subject, and room. Those things not really going to make a big issue, because most people are just going to see the name of the classroom under, right? So I create Test YouTube Live Classroom, and then automatically the classroom is going to be created and added to my list of classrooms. And now this is what I will have. My YouTube classroom, YouTube Live Classroom. And that's what I'll get. Once I get this, I now have Google Classroom created for me. And because it's for me, I am going to now have to do two things. I'm going to have to invite people to it. Now when I go to the people section, there are three tabs: stream, classwork, people, and grades. I'm just going to go through the stream and people for now, and then I'm going to show you how to enter it as a student. Right? For those of you all that haven't clicked like yet, I would appreciate if you just click the X on the chat, click like, and then come back to the stream, because it will propagate further. I don't know how much times I have to say that, but for all the new people that coming in, you just need to know that also, right? Good. So we're going to people, and you will see that I am the teacher because I just created it, Mr. Andre Charles. I'm the teacher, but there are no students yet. There are three ways you could add students to Google Classroom. When you click the plus sign, you could invite them by email. So I could just type the email of the particular child that I want to add, because the parents would have given me the email. So let's say you're a parent, you create your email, and the school is going to have Google Classroom, and you tell the teacher says, please send me the emails for your child. Because some schools may do that, because the most secure way is to invite everybody by email. The most secure way is to invite people by email, because that way you don't get a whole lot of weirdos coming into your class. So I could invite myself by email, which will be my other account, my DJ account, and then I click invite. Once an invite is sent, you will see that the child has been invited, and it will be grayed out. This is for teachers. Teachers, you will see it grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because the child hasn't accepted it yet. And if the child hasn't accepted it yet, then they won't be in the classroom. That's just basic, right? So what we're saying is, you will go to students, and then you will put the information in for the child. You can do that. Or, and of course, if you have a child in the class that's not supposed to be there, you could just click on them, click on the tick, then click on actions, and then press remove, and you will remove that child from the class. Let's say they got in there by mistake, right? All right, next problem now is if you don't have the email address of the particular child, right? Let's say the school is big and everybody hasn't created their Gmail address or whatnot, and you need to get them to join the classroom, and you don't have time to tell them how to create a Gmail address or whatnot. What you're going to do is you're going to be able to go to the stream, and then you will see this thing called class code. Now, the class code is going to allow people to join the classroom. And when this class code is put up, anybody could just go to classroom.google.com and join the classroom. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now as best as I can. So I have two classes here. I have two windows here. I have one, so on one window I have the teacher side. So the left side is teacher, the right side is student, right? So I'm zooming in a little bit so that you could see that I'm still in the old test classroom that I had, right? So look at the code here. If I go as a student now, pay really close attention to it. Really close attention. When you click on the plus sign here, because I have a Gmail address, I could click join class, not create class, because I'm not a teacher. And usually once you have a student account that's under 13 years old, you can't create a class, right? But I could click join class. When I click join class, it's going to ask me for one or two things. A class code. No, it's going to ask me for a class code because I'm trying to join the class and Google tries to explain that, okay, well, more than likely the teacher would have given you a class code. So I'm going to put in the class code, which is NNAMBDU, right? And then you see the join button has turned to blue there. So watch this, right? I'm going to take it back off. And the join button is grayed out. Look at the top right hand side. Top right hand side, the join button is grayed out because there is no actual real class here. So I'm going to put NNAMBDU, and now the join button is there. So now I could join the class. So I click join, and the class is joining. And once I click join, you will see that I'm inside the YouTube live test classroom. So if I go back as a teacher now, and I go by the people section, you will see that I am here. And what you will also see is that some other people have seen the class code and they have tried to join the classroom because this is public, right? So I'm just going to change the thing so that students alone, so that only the teacher could comment, right? Right. So you see there are many people that join the classroom because this is public and there are a lot of people who would have joined the classroom. And the first thing I had to go and do is go into the settings and make sure I have inside the stream only teachers can post or comment. Because if I left it for students to be able to comment, then they would be able to post all kind of weird stuff, which I'm sure some of the people who just joined the classroom posted things already. No, they didn't post anything, right? So now good, right? So that leads me to the settings. Now look at the settings. When you create the classroom as a teacher, you have three options for the stream. You could make it so that students can post and comment. Students posting and comment means that the student can create a page if they want. The student could create a post if they want. Students can only comment means that the teacher will post things and only the students can comment on it. So the students could only comment, but they can't create anything or create a post. Now this will work handy for your secondary school children, upper forms, grade, whatever, meaning teenage children, right? Because teenage children tend to be a little mischievous and they might want to post some sort of weird things, and you would have to manage our classroom too much. So what you want to do is only change so only students can comment. So that means the teacher will be able to post things and students could comment on it, but they can't actually create content that students will be able to go wild on. And then only teachers can post or comment. Only means that the teacher is in total control of everything that is seen on the classroom. So where does this work? So let me go into the, go back to the document and show you how these settings will apply. So we have the account type. Let's go with settings. Now, I think, this is in my opinion, right, that in lower primary, only teachers can post. Why only teachers could post? Because remember, parents are the ones that are going to be handling this account. Parents are going to be one that join the Google Classroom for their little child. The child, as just saw a comment there, yeah, only Gmail accounts will be able to join the Google Classroom. I've heard rumors of people joining Google Classroom with other emails, but I can't prove it. So I just know that Gmail works for sure. So use Gmail because Gmail is made by Google. Google Classroom is made by Google. So same thing, right? Good. So because this lower primary is going to be handled by a parent, you want to set it that only teachers could post and students could comment. But remember, this student here is not really a student. This student is really the parent. And the children are not going to be really interacting with what is going on in the Google Classroom. They're just going to be watching things that are happening. In upper primary, you want to put that only teachers can post also. And you will want to put students comment. And then in secondary, you want to put that only teachers can post. Students can't comment. Only, and you open it up if necessary. Now why I say, and you could do that for upper primary too, because remember, these children that are older, when they see things and they want to comment, they're going to try to send emojis, they're going to try to send GIFs, they're going to try to comment, they're going to try to curse, they're going to try and do all kind of things that's going to make your classroom management really hard. So what you want to do is you want to take off the ability for them to comment, so that all they'll have to do is just look at their assignments, look at the posts. And if there is something that you want them to be able to do, you allow them to comment. So I'm going to go back to the classroom now. This is me here. This is the test classroom that I have. The test classroom, right now, I could tell you there are a lot of weird people that would have joined the classroom, right? Look at all these people that joined the classroom from all over. I don't know where they came from. And that's the problem that you're going to have with the delivery of the class code. If I invited people via email only, then everybody would be able to come in only if I allow them. But once I release this class code could be copied and sent to anybody, forwarded to whoever, and all over, like, it will go to wherever they want to. And then a lot of people, just like what is going on right now, because I knew this would happen, I was sure this would happen, a lot of people join the classroom because they are here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the people except myself. Remove them. And if you run into the situation where all these weird people join your classroom, you could go to the class settings and reset the link, or take off the link at all. So I could disable links. So there is no way that you could get into this classroom unless I invite you into it. So I've disabled the class code. And the reason I disabled the class code is because you realize weird people were coming into the classroom. And that's going to happen. That's not an if, but, or maybe. That's going to happen to you once you start to release this class code to WhatsApp groups and all that different stuff. It's going to happen. And they are going to just join your classroom. Because people are weird. Trust me. People are weird. So right now, the one person I want in my classroom is here because I purposefully invited that person, which is me, myself, in this other side, right? Alright, good. So what time is it? It's 8:35. So let me pause right now and let's try to get some questions on the inside before I go into how to actually do things in Google Classroom, or like upload assignments, because that's going to be the next important thing that you're going to have to do. So here's what you're going to have to do with your questions. You're going to have to make sure your questions are relevant and that you type a proper question in a sentence. So don't type your question in four different sentences. This is a risk I taken here, but it's a risk that I kind of want to try because I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if everybody on the chat is going to try to do the thing properly. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's see. Questions. So a person asks, what software do you use to write on the screen? I am using Microsoft Whiteboard because I have a Windows machine. This is Microsoft Whiteboard. And let me show you. Microsoft Whiteboard is a free software that you could get on any Windows laptop. And that will give you that ability. Are you covering Microsoft Themes or Microsoft Teams? Yeah, I'll go down and touch on Microsoft Teams when I get to the video conferencing part. That'll probably be 9 o'clock, right? Somewhere around there. Can we get some demonstration on Microsoft Teams? I will get there eventually, maybe around an hour. Started at 8, right? Yeah. Is Google Classroom limited like Zoom? No, Google Classroom is free. It's not limited. It's probably limited to the amount of people it could add to a classroom, which is about 200. Can I transfer students from a Google Classroom from one place, from one form to the next? Yes, you can, but it's a bit advanced. I'm particularly blah, 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 blah. All right, what laptops do you recommend? All right, so for those of you all that want to know what laptops I recommend, you can check in the comments in the description of this YouTube video, and you will see a link, a set of links that I've put with laptops that will take you straight to Amazon, and those are the ones that I recommend to use, and they are broken down clearly. Is Google Classroom able to go live? No, Google Classroom is not able to go live. It won't go live. What app do you use to record? I use OBS Studio, Open Broadcast Studio. Can I delete a Google Classroom and set up a new one? Yes, you can. I will show you how to do that just now. Can you show how to create a banner in Google Classroom? That's a little bit advanced, and I kind of catering to the basic people right now, so maybe next week I will be able to do that. What hardware are you using to write on the screen? I have a touchscreen laptop. It's a 2-in-1 convertible. If you check the description of this video, you will see links of different laptops, and you will see one of them is the laptop that I currently use. In order for kids to enter the classroom, does the parent have to do it? At the lower school level, yes, the parent will have to do it. At the upper school level, no. Can I record my presentation in Google Meet? We'll get to Google Meet just now. Do you recommend Amazon Fire? I only recommend Amazon Fire if you're going to use Zoom, because if you're using Google Classroom and everything else, Amazon Fire tablets won't install the Google Suite, because Amazon is kind of, their app store is different. Alright, let me see 2 more questions. Can Google Classroom work on your phone as a teacher, or do you use a laptop? It works on your phone. I'm going to demonstrate how to use it on your phone just now. Does the MMB have a domain of teachers that can use access to G Suite? No, G Suite has to be set up in your school. I set up G Suite for my school, and I'm currently working on 2 other schools setting up G Suite for them, because G Suite, I think, in my humble opinion, is the best way to manage your online learning in your school. And last one is a Chromebook device. Yes, a Chromebook is a device. Yes. Will this be a weekly program or tutorial? Yes, I'm going to do it weekly, every week, probably on a Saturday night or Friday night. I haven't figured out yet. All right. Okay, good. So we're moving on now. So we are in Google Classroom. I'm going to show you all what you are going to face when you are in the 3 different categories. So I'm going to go to interaction now. So for lower primary, the interaction is going to be very, very, very basic. Basic assignments and videos to watch. Parent must make sure child does the assignments and upload pictures of work. Because in lower primary, because remember this is lower primary, first year to standard 1, the interactions are going to be very basic, and the children aren't going to actually interface with the Google Classroom. Oh, I'm very sorry, I didn't change the screen right yet. Because lower primary is basically a lot of activities that they have to do in books. They have to do coloring and whatnot. Because at lower primary, they don't really do online learning. They do online instruction, and everything that they do otherwise is kinesthetic, right? And the kinesthetics is important to them because remember, they are learning how to write, they are learning how to read, they are learning how to do these things. So their Google Classroom, is they mightn't even know that Google Classroom exists. What they are going to see is their parents going to Google Classroom, seeing the things that they have to do, and then coming back and telling them, okay, you have to do this part in your book, you have to do that part in your book, you have to do this in your book. What preschool teachers and lower school teachers are going to have to do is they're going to do a lot of singing, they're going to do a lot of reading, they're going to do a lot of signage, they're going to do a lot of, can you repeat this for me, or repeat that, can you say this, can you say that, those kind of stuff. And the lower school, lower primary, they're going to have probably about 15 to 20 minutes of video interaction before the children start to get bored. So the hardest part for parents, because remember we have to work on this together, is that the child must not know that when their video conference is finished, that school is done. When their video conference is finished, as a young child, they're going to need to know that their parents is going to guide them to the work and the workbook that they have to do. And a lot of schools would have produced these little take-home notebooks that the children will have to use, and they will be able to they'll be able to go to which page the teacher says to do, right? So Google Classroom interaction for lower primary is going to be extremely basic, extremely basic. For upper primary, they are going to have basic research assignments, videos to watch, and maybe some typing. Maybe some typing of work, answering questions, and online quizzes, right? So why I said for upper primary, which will be standard 2 to standard 5, right? They are going to have work to do on Google Classroom that requires them to do basic research, basic assignments, videos to watch, maybe typing up some work, because you're trying to get them to basically, I'm saying from standard 2 because there are some standard 2s that may be able to do it, right? They will be able to go on their Google Classroom and look at the stream, because my daughter is in standard 2, prep 2, and my son is in prep 3, and he is able to go on Google Classroom and scroll and see the assignments that his teacher left for him, click on it, and then try to navigate through it. Of course, I have to help him, but the ability for them to start to interact with the computer to be able to manage their own work is something that is going to be necessary that they will have to learn to do in upper primary, right? And then for secondary, their interaction is going to be very high. They're going to be high interaction. They are going to do a lot of submission, group work, research, and quizzes and tests. Right, quizzes and tests. Those things now are going to be necessary. Just hold on one second, I forgot to do something important. Very, very important. Okay, right here. Right, sorry about that. Right. So the interaction in upper secondary, they're going to have to do a lot of assignments and submissions and those sorts of things. And I'm going to show you now how Google Classroom, how the interaction with Google Classroom goes. Just keep in mind that if you're lower primary parents, you're looking at a lot of assignments and videos watching, and you are going to have to manage the work that the child does. The upper primary, you're looking at a lot of basic research, some assignments, and you're going to have to supervise what they do. And for secondary, a lot of high interaction when it comes to Google Classroom, because the Google Classroom is going to be one of the major tools that most schools are going to use. When I say most, like from what I could see, like almost 90% of people are trying to get Google Classroom to work. So let's go back to Google Classroom now, and I will show you how it looks from a child's perspective and from a teacher's perspective, right? Alright, so let's say I'm the teacher in this classroom. I have locked off the classroom so that nobody could join the classroom. Nobody could join the classroom unless I invite them, and I purposefully invited myself only. So I'm going to go to stream as a teacher, and teachers, you want to pay attention to this. In the stream, I could communicate with our classroom, which is share something with the class. So I'm going to say, hi class, welcome to your first class. And then if I want to, I could click add, and I want to add a YouTube video. So if I click add YouTube video, and I want to say, I want to find one of my videos, my Caribbean story, make it simple TT, right? I'll find one of my videos that I had, which is a competition for that I ran, and this competition is going to be judged next week, right? So I want to add one of these stories. So I add this one. Click add. Right. So when the student comes to the classroom, they will see the first post, which it says, hi class, welcome to your first class, and there will be a YouTube video. Notice on the right hand side, you see this thing, stream was uploaded, show. So when I click show, what it's going to show me is what my teacher sent. So remember, the right side is the student, left side is the teacher. So the teacher is going to have the ability to post something, and now as a student, I'm going to see that this thing here, welcome to your first class, my Caribbean story, which is a video. But what's the problem? I cannot comment here because remember, in the settings, I told Google Classroom settings, only teachers can post or comment. That's what it's saying right here. Only teachers could post or comment. So now I have to update that to say only students can comment, and watch what will happen. Once I click save, it would say on the right hand side here now, stream has been updated or something like that. But if the stream hasn't updated, you need to be able to tell your students to refresh, right? So when I click refresh, you will see now that the ability to comment on it is now there. And I could put a comment, thank you very much, sir. I will watch the video. So when I click enter now, it will enter the comment, and now the teacher will see when they refresh, because refreshing is something that you're just going to have to do. You will see that a student commented here, thank you very much, sir, I will watch the video. So that is a simple interaction on Google Classroom. This is creating a post. This is no different than you putting a post on Facebook, putting a post on Instagram or whatever, and people commenting on it. You could do that as a teacher, and you could attach almost anything that you want on it, right? So you can click on it. Somebody asked, when is this finishing? I will most likely finish this like around 10 o'clock, right? Because there's a lot of stuff to go through, but I'm really just trying to make sure teachers and students could be able to start work tomorrow. So, as a preschool parent, imagine what will happen. The teacher will be, let your child watch this video, then do page 13 in the exercise book. And then I click add, and then I click YouTube video, and then the teacher will put counting to 10, right? If you know the YouTube video, then you should be able to find it and just put it in, right? So I'm going to add the numbers video, I'll put it in, and then I click post. So now as a preschool child or a lower primary school child, you'll be able to see that let your child watch this video, then do page 13 in the exercise book. So as a parent, remember, as a parent, you are going to go into this classroom saying, hey, I am going to see what my child has to do today. And the simple post is, let your child watch this video, then do page 13 in the exercise book. Then you as the parent will click on the YouTube video, show it to your child, let them watch the video, and then you will go to page 13 and kind of help them do it. And when you help them do it, that's where the power comes in, where the parents work together with the teacher to help the child, because the child wouldn't know the difference between teacher teaching and parent, because everybody will be working together, right? And of course, yes, you can put in pre-recorded videos. So if you want to put in a pre-recorded video, you can click share something with your class, and when you click add, instead of clicking YouTube, you'll click file. And if you have a pre-recorded video on your computer, you can click file, and then you will get the ability to insert something from your Google Drive, which will be the upload section. You click upload. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Right, upload. And then when you click browse, it will take you to your computer, and then you'll be able to see things here, right? You cannot do a live video in Google Classroom as a common misconception. A lot of people think that you can do live videos in Google Classroom. It can't work. The only way for you to get the live video is to use Google Meet or Zoom and paste the link, which I'm going to show you just now, right? So we have this classroom here. So that's classwork, that's preschool. Primary school now could be the same thing. Let your child do this video and do it on page 13, and you just kind of do the work, and you go back and tell the child, no problem. Things could get a little trickier when you go to create an assignment. Now, creating assignments are going to be for a lot of upper school children. So upper primary and secondary school, you're going to need assignments because now you need time limits. Time limits are what's going to make a big difference. So think about, let's say you give a assignment for a child to do, and they have to submit it by next week. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the classwork section. So the classwork section is here. Classwork. And then you're going to click create. When you click create, there are different assignments that you could do. Because of time and because of the amount of features that are here, I'm just going to show you how to create a basic assignment. Basic assignment is create, and then you're going to choose assignment. When you choose assignment, you're going to see the ability to have the name of the assignment. So you're going to call this Social Studies assignment. And then you're going to give instructions, which would be, please draw a map of Trinidad and put in the capital. Right, so I'm going to ask the students to please draw a map of Trinidad and put in the capital. Remember, this is an assignment. And because it's an assignment, it's going to be given with a time limit or some sort of constraints. I could also add, which is attach a link, a file, or whatnot. So if I want to attach a PDF to say this is what it should look like, or if I want to give a YouTube video to say this is the guide that you should use when you create the video, you could do all of that and attach it. Then you're going to have the ability to give I'll maximize it because this is what it looks like on our computer. Then you're going to have the ability to give it points. How much is it out of? If it's out of 50, you put out of 50. And then the most important part is the due date. So I'm going to set the due date as Tuesday at 3 p.m. What's going to happen now is it's going to, and I click assign. What's going to happen now is if I go to the child, classroom now. Remember, you're seeing this either as a parent or a child. Now remember, as a parent, you're going to see this on behalf of your child if you're on the lower end and if you're supervising. When I click show, you're going to see an assignment came up here. Mr. Andre Charles posted a new assignment, social studies assignment, and you will see the date that it was posted. So it was posted at 8:54. Of course, if it's tomorrow, you're going to see the 8:54 coming here. Then when you click on classwork, you will see the assignment there. Social studies assignment. So I'm going to click on social studies assignment, and then I'm going to click on view assignment. Now as a child, what you're going to see is this. You're going to see social studies assignment, 50 points, then you're going to see the instructions, and after you see the instructions, you'll see when it is due. It's due on September the 8th at 3 p.m. As a parent, the most important part is you will be able to see here when the assignment is due, so that you could either get your child to start to work on it early or continue working on it later. So you will see due September the 8th, and then you will see add or create. Now this is where it's going to get tricky. So now I have to go to my phone. So I'm going to show you now what Google Classroom will look like on your phone. because this is where the preschool parents are going to come into play. Preschool parents, you're going to come into play here because a lot of the work that you're going to have to do is going to have to be submitted online via sending pictures to the teacher. So I'm going to put the phone on the right hand side here. So this is my phone right now. And you can see that I have the test YouTube classroom inside here. So I'm putting it over where the other classroom was, right? Everybody's seeing that? So to download Google Classroom on your phone, if you have an Android phone, you go to the Play Store and then you just search for Google Classroom, you download it and you're signing in with the same account that you would have created on the computer. To download it on a Apple phone, iPhone, you'd be able to go to the App Store and go on the App Store and you download it to your phone, just like how you would have done it on your computer and you sign in and whatnot, right? Right, so let me just pause before I jump into the phone stuff and let me see some questions that we have here before I move on. Alright. Mods, if all you saw any good questions, you could just post it back for me, right? Thanks, I really appreciate your work. Can your email be seen in Google Classroom? Yes, your email can be seen in Google Classroom because you invited them via email. What are you using to demonstrate these various screens? I'm using Chrome. Is Google Meet free? Yes, Google Meet is free. Again, to the video conferencing stuff just now. Can you cast your phone or laptop screen to your TV or use a smart TV? That's irrelevant, but yes. What's the best online software for a math teacher? I don't know. We'll figure that out as the weeks go by. So this question was, how do you see yourself on a PowerPoint presentation at the same time? Like what I'm presently doing, I'm using a program called OBS, which is a little technical, and I'm really not trying to get into technical things today. I'm trying to be basic. How do you send your work privately to the teacher in Google Classroom? I'm going to show you all that just now. What is the issue with G Suite? Why do they say we must have it? Nobody says that you must have G Suite. G Suite is just a good way of managing your whole school. How do you link Google into Google Classroom? I'll show you how to do Google Meet just now. Demonstrate big blue button, please. I'm going to try to get it. Does Google Classroom have a time limit to use or not? No, Google Classroom does not have a time limit. I've found the only way to use Google Classroom on a Fire is in the browser. Yes, that's the only way you could do it because a Fire tablet is not going to allow you to download Google Apps. Attendance in Google Classroom, that's a bit difficult. I'll probably save that for next week. Can you repeat how to make an account for children under 13 years? No, can't do that. You'll just have to go back to the start of the video. The video will be saved. The live will be saved after, so you could always watch it over if you want to. How can you underline, circle, or word, or draw a map as a standard one child? I don't understand what that means. Can you use Hotmail to create Google Classroom? No, you can't. Time limit for Zoom is 40 minutes for free. Are you using the tablet with the pen in the description to draw on the virtual whiteboard? No, I have a touch screen. The tablet with the pen one is for people who don't have touch screens. They could plug that in. They could use that. Tell me more about a router. Sorry, I can't tell you any more about that right now. How can you post something from your phone, example from WhatsApp to Google Classroom? You just share it in the app. Okay, so back to work now. So we will be looking at my phone. And you will see I have YouTube Test Classroom here. So I'm going to open up YouTube Test Classroom and the exact same things that I see on my computer. If you look very closely, I'm going to drag it to the side. Remember the student is on the right hand side. So the student is seeing social studies assignment. I'm seeing social studies assignment. So when I click on social studies assignment here, the exact same social studies assignment is being seen on my phone. So you can operate Google Classroom from your phone very, very, very effortlessly. Google Classroom works on your phone very effortlessly, and it's actually streamlined because it follows the same concept of, at the bottom you'll see stream, classwork, and people. So you see people, classwork here, stream there, and it just does it. No problem, right? So, new assignment is social studies. And the social studies assignment is asking me to draw a map and put the capital. So, obviously, I don't have a map and capital right now. But if you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see this up arrow. When you pull this up arrow, it's going to allow you to be able to put in your work. So I'm going to show it one more time. In your classwork section, you're going to see the assignment that is given. Remember, this is for people who have to submit assignments. Think of preschool children, think of their parents, think of primary school children, think of their parents. How do you get your child to upload the assignment? And you're using a phone because you may not have a laptop, you may not have a computer, and you just want to get it done. So you install Google Classroom on your phone, you join using the link, or the teacher emails you or whatnot, and you get in. When you click on Social Studies Assignment, you are going to see Social Studies Assignment, and you'll see 0 comments. So if I am not sure about the assignment, I could add a class comment and be like, "Sir, I am not sure. I am not sure what to do. Please explain." And that now is going to go as a class comment. So watch on the left hand side here now. When I click on Social Studies Assignment and I go View Assignment, you will see that a child has given a class comment. I'll have to refresh, sorry. Right? Just get accustomed to always refreshing for your Google Classroom, because that's when things are going to come in, right? So you see in there, "Sir, I am not sure what to do. Please explain more." Right? It will say, "Please explain more." And now I, as the teacher, can say, "Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem." So I do that, "Okay, no problem." And now the student is going to see in the class comments, if I refresh here, which is, go back to the Social Studies Assignment, and I'll see two comments. The comment number 1 is, "Sir, I'm not sure what to do." And the second thing is, "Okay, no problem." So Sir is going to update the assignment. So I saw somebody ask a question, "Can you update the assignment?" Yes, as a teacher, you could go to Edit. And when you go to Edit, you can be like, "Updated on the 6th of September." And you say, "I have added a letter to the, I've added a video to help you." Right? And then I could go and add the YouTube video or a video that I uploaded and say Map Up Trinidad. Find the video, and I post the video as a teacher because I want to add it. And then I click Save. So now the student who wasn't sure what to do will now be able to edit the information and put it up, right? Good. So that is from a student perspective. The teacher edited the assignment. I think that answers a few questions that came before. Now, as a student, I want to upload the information from a phone, because remember, from my laptop, I cannot actually put the information for a preschool child, because a preschool child is not going to be able to upload an assignment. That's kind of asking too much. They're going to be writing in a book. And because they're going to be writing in a book, I'm going to now take my phone, right? So I'm using my phone right now. Look at my phone. This is what you're seeing on the screen. So like when I touch the screen here, you will see it moves here, right? Good. So I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to now try to upload the assignment that the child did. Now let's say the child had to do some counting assignments. So this is the page with the counting assignment here, right? And the child did the counting assignment, no problem, everything is cool, wonderful, no issues there. I now want to upload this assignment for the teacher. I'm going to go by your work, and then you're going to see Add Attachment. Add Attachment is going to give me the ability to upload things from Drive, upload a link, upload a file. Remember, for the upper school children, they're going to be able to type their stuff and upload it, right? So they could upload links or files or whatnot. But remember, for these primary school children, they are getting their instruction via Google Classroom, and then you are sending them to a book with work to do. So when they do the information in the book, and let's say simulate that this paper is the work, I want to now take a picture of it. So I'm going to choose Take a Photo. When I choose Take a Photo, the camera will open. When the camera opens, you will see the page that of work that the child did. So let's say the child did the work and circle all the numbers with 10. Then I press the camera, click the camera button, and then I will see a blue tick. That tick means that the picture has been taken and I want to upload that to the teacher. If the picture didn't come out good, I just press back and then I take the picture out again and I'll get a better picture. You could do that how much times you want. Once I click the blue tick, it's going to now give me uploading, it will now upload the picture to the assignment. Remember, I'm doing this for preschool children, lower primary school children. You're going to have to be doing a lot of pictures and sending it back to your teacher. But what we have been trying to do is take pictures and send it to them on WhatsApp. But when you take pictures and send it on WhatsApp, it's a bit annoying, right? Because teachers find it hard to manage. Now, you will see that on the screen, you will see Social Studies assignment, September 6th. I'm going to see if can I zoom in on this a little bit for you all? Yeah. Right, so you see in Social Studies assignment, September 6th. And you could add another attachment. So let's say there were 2 pages that the child had to do. So I have page 1, and now I have to do page 2. I can click add attachment again. Oh my, just now. I messed this up. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Yeah. So I'll make this back small because it will take up too much space. Right, so I'm going to now add a next attachment, and in adding the next attachment, I'm going to now take a photo again. So let's say it's the other side of the page, or let's say it's the same assignment, so I take it off and I take a picture again, and I click the blue tick. Now there are 2 pictures because the child may have had 2 assignments to do, or 2 pages to do. Now that the 2 pages are there, you can see now that it's uploading. And now that it's uploading, you're seeing your work. Your work means this is the work that is going for the children. And then the next important thing is they have to click turn in. So now I'm going to click turn in. Once I click turn in, pay attention to what happens on the left hand side. Now it says 2 attachments will be submitted for Social Studies assignment, and then I click turn in. Once I click turn in, pay attention to what's going to happen over here where there is student work. Student work now is now going to show me that my student submitted their work. So it's the same 2 images that I submitted from my phone, the same 2 images that I'm seeing here. So I'm going to switch back from my phone now to show you that I just used my phone to submit the assignment, which anybody could do, because Google Classroom on your phone is not hard to install. On a Fire tablet, yes, it is hard to install. Many people are asking that, right? So I'm going back now to take off my phone, and I'm going to show you that I could open up this child's Social Studies assignment as a teacher. And when I click and I open it up, I have the ability to do many things. So I could see the picture of what the child did. I could zoom into the picture and see what the child wrote, which is like that. And then I could go on the side and go to private comments and say, if I'm speaking to the parent, I'll say, thank you, mommy, for this. Well done. Make sure he uses the pencil properly. And that will go as a private comment. So this comment will go exactly to the student, to the student. But remember, the student can either be the child or the parent. Good? And then once I do that now, I could now give this a mark. So it says out of 50, I give it 50 out of 50. And then I click return. What will happen is that on the right hand side now, the child is going to see that their assignment would have been returned and they got 50 out of 50. And that's how the Google Classroom submission will work. This could work for files, it could work for documents, it could work for anything that you want to upload as the work. You could upload PDFs or whatnot. But I don't have time to go into every single document because I need to start to go into some of these streaming apps. So let me tell you all this one time. Next week, Saturday, I'll be doing a follow-up session for anybody who wants to come in. So on Saturday nights, for about the next, 4 or 5 nights, for next 4 or 5 weeks, I will do special demonstrations for anybody who wants to understand it better. It'll be more geared towards teachers and students. So add in comments and whatnot. Don't have time to do that right now. So for teachers who are here right now, if you are a teacher, you are here right now, and you want to help with the process. Not that you want to learn every single thing. But you say to yourself, I'm a teacher, I know some of these things, I'm willing to help or whatnot. I want to get some other teachers involved in the demonstration so that many other teachers will be able to do this also. And when we do the live videos, I'll be sharing it with other teachers. If you check in this, in the description of this video, you will see a link to our WhatsApp group that you will be able to join. And you could join the teacher WhatsApp group, and you will be able to liaise with me and link with me, and we'll be able to try to figure out how we could do more videos to help these people, and I'll just upload them on the channel, and people will be able to get them. And if you're a teacher who is not one of the complainers, if you're a teacher that wants to learn and you want to try and you want to figure out things, you could also join that group, because I guarantee you there'll be other people there like me who will be willing to help. So in the description of the video, you will see the link to that WhatsApp group. Right now, only the admin could speak because I'm the admin, and the WhatsApp groups, I'm a very, very strict admin. So forwarding and outer timing talk and all that kind of stuff, we really don't have time for that. We're really trying to figure out online learning. And if you're a teacher who's really serious about trying to learn this and trying to get better of it, you could join our WhatsApp group. The other WhatsApp group that I'm seeing will be for people who know zero about technology. So the elder folks, the people who don't really like grasp technology at all, like your granny, your great aunt, your uncle, or somebody who just missed the whole technology gap and they want to learn about technology, that group is for them. That group is a help out group where I have different people who are like who are techie people, and then they're able to just give answers to very simple questions. So those are the two WhatsApp groups. If you want to further this, it will be done like that, right? And I've decided that every Saturday night for the next few weeks, I'll continue doing this. So if you're asking questions about things that are going on right now and you're not too sure about how it works or whatnot, and you want to try different things or you want to learn more things, I could show you 15 other things in Google Classroom right now, but we don't have time for it. I'm trying to get to other things. So next week Saturday at 8 p.m, if you want to know more, you come there and I'll let you know how it works. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, click the subscribe button now. Let me show you how to click the subscribe button on the phone, because some of you all may be lost on how to click subscribe. So when the YouTube video is up, you're going to see, if you're on your phone, you're going to see this, right? So you're going to see me teaching right now. There'll be this big X that's over the chat. So I'm going to click this big X by the chat, and then you will see the subscribe button in red there. What you want to do is you want to click on that red subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, because if you subscribe to the channel, you will be able to get notifications of other videos that will help you with anything in technology. And if you have students or if you have children who do IT, this channel does a lot of free stuff for children who are doing CSEC IT, CAPE IT, computer science, and all that they learn, right? So click subscribe, and then once you click subscribe, you could come back to the live chat, and then you could continue talking, right? So watch again, press the X. If you're watching on a phone, click the subscribe button and the like button. Make sure you click like and subscribe, and then you could go back to the live chat, and that's how this will work, right? Okay, good. So back to my whiteboard now, because I'm finished demonstrating Google Classroom. Next week I'll probably demonstrate some more things on Google Classroom. So let's get to the whiteboard, right? So we just went through Google Classroom, right? So Google Classroom gives us the ability to host a centralized, how do you spell centralized? Centralized content management, right? So centralized content management will give you the ability. Huh? Oh. Sorry about that. Yep, right. Google Classroom will give you the ability to have centralized content management. Centralized content management means you could upload assignments, upload information, upload all that stuff, and it will be easy for you to manage the assignments, manage your work, and there are so many other things that we could do, but remember, I don't have time for all of them. Now we're going to try to go through some of the other things that you can do, which will be video interaction, right? Right, so watch how video interaction is going to work. Video interaction gives us the ability now to do two things. We get to have audio and video. I'll get into the differences between audio and video and which one we should use and which one we shouldn't use, right? So, video interaction. There are three major players that I'll be looking at. Major player number one is Zoom. Major player number two is Meet. And major player number two is Teams. Right? Zoom is Zoom. Zoom is made by somebody. Meet is made by Google. And Teams is Microsoft. There is another one that I could do if I get time, which is Big Blue Button, right? And this one here is made by whoever makes Big Blue Button, but the Ministry of Education gives teachers this for free, right? Will I be able to install Microsoft Office and other apps I'm familiar with on the Chromebook Duet? No, the Chromebook Duet is not made for that. I'll get into devices at the end, right? The links I have at the bottom there, these are those links I have in the description. I will explain each one of those links just now, right? Okay, so Zoom, Meet, Teams, Big Blue Button. So let's go back to my document. Where's that document? Here? No, it's here. Yes, here. Right, good. Alright, so we're going back to this document here. Alright, so before I jump into explaining all of these things, I'm going to do a video comparison, right? The video comparison, this is really, really, really important because you need to understand, well, we need to understand what these apps do and why they are so important, right? All right, so let's get with the video comparison. I'm going to insert a table, and we're going to start with Zoom. No, I need to put our next column. Insert column to the left. Right, so we have Zoom, Meet, Teams, and Big Blue Button. Alright, so let's start with features. The feature set of Zoom rich. You have rooms, raise hands, whiteboard, breakout rooms, muting, control. Lots and lots of control in Zoom. Zoom is the most feature-rich one that you will find, right? So I'll just leave it as extremely rich. Extremely rich. They're not supposed to be rich, but yeah, extremely rich. Right. So you have all those different things. Meet is very moderate. Meet is moderate. Meet does basic things well. Basic things it does well. Teams is rich. It's not extremely rich, but rich. Right? So Teams is rich. Like just say Zoom is rich. So let's say if I rate it on features out of 5, Zoom will get a 5. Meet will get a 3. Teams will get a 4. And Big Blue Button is extremely rich also. So Big Blue Button will get a 5 also because there are so many different things, right? Or to the person asking about Edmodo, I really wish I had time to do the Edmodo, but right now I'm kind of focusing on more important stuff, right? Because I want to finish by 10 o'clock, and if whatever I can't finish tonight, next week Saturday, I will try to continue more, right? So please subscribe to the channel. If you have certain things I want to request, you could leave a comment on this video so that in the next video I could kind of plan out what I want to do. But for now, I need to get these video apps out of the way because this is a really important part for online teaching, right? So if I get the features out of 5, Zoom is the best in terms of features. Alright, so now let's move on to security. Security, we're going to give security out of 5. Zoom security was kinda I'll give Zoom security a rich out of 4. I'll give Meet a 5. Teams, which would be a 3, and Big Blue Button. Big Blue Button is the hardest one for security because you have to invite people via links. So moderate, I'll give it a 3. I want to give Big Blue Button a 2. Let me explain why. Zoom gets a 4 in security from me because what happens with Zoom is that you will have to invite people via a link, and the links are very dangerous because when you send out that link, lots of people try to come into your meeting. And the reason why security is hard in Zoom, which is good because you could give the meeting information and you could give the info, but you don't have real names. So people could not have their real names, and because they don't have their real names, you have an issue. And a lot of people will come into the meeting and be in the waiting room, but you won't know if to let them in because you don't have their real name. And if you don't have their real name, then you'll have an issue. Meet security is high because Meet you could invite via email. So only the people you want will come in, and they must have a Gmail. You could invite people via email on Zoom, but they will always get the ability to share the information, right? So that's that. Teams is moderate because you invite via link also, and the link can be shared with anyone. And then Big Blue Button is invite via link or email again, but no real names. Management, right? So you could get people, you will get all sorts of issues, right? So some people would have had problems with Zoom because once you let that link go, once you send that link out, people will get the link, and then they could stream whatever they want on it, and wherever they want, you will get there. With Meet, it's harder to do that because you have the ability to invite people via link only, right? So that's security. Let me go to the next one, which is time limits. Right, Zoom free is 40 minutes, which is a problem for most people. But remember, our Caribbean system, we have periods that run for like 30 minutes, or we spend 30 minutes at a time on a lesson. But in secondary school, of course, where you have people that spend double periods and triple periods, the Zoom minutes, 40 minutes, not gonna cut it. Right now, Meet is unlimited until COVID is over. Right? So Meet is normally, Meet is unlimited, or Meet is all right. Meet is unlimited until COVID is over. When COVID is over, it will be 1 hour, right? Teams, I think Teams is unlimited. for now. Just let me just double check that. Microsoft Teams time limits. Yeah, Teams is unlimited for now, and Big Blue Button, because the Ministry of Education has it available for free, it is unlimited also. Big Blue Button is unlimited. Right, so if you have to do long meetings, you're going to want to use Meet, Teams, or Big Blue Button. If you have short classes, which will be like primary school classes or whatnot, you can use the 40 minutes, and you can re-log in, right? The problem with the re-login is that you are depending on a student to click back a link. And some students, they don't click back the link, or some parents won't be able to click back the link because once the meeting starts, they don't want to have to go back and click back the link to get back inside to the meeting. So that will cause you a problem. So you can re-log in, but it's not going to work. The only other way is to pay to get unlimited. You have to pay $150 US, I think, and you will get the unlimited Zoom. So Zoom has the utmost best feature set. But if you want to get it for a long period of time, you're going to have to pay. Big Blue Button has a really, really, really good feature set, but you have to have a Ministry of Education account. So you need to have the MOE account, which is at fac.edu. Something like that. Something like that, some kind of account like that, you will have that. So if you go with Big Blue Button, you would most likely get a rich feature set, and but you need to have the ministry account. If you go with Google Meet, you will get the basic things done well because it doesn't have all the breakout rooms, it doesn't have raise hands and all that stuff, and you have to work a little bit because it's just raw video conferencing and presenting your screen. Okay, so I've seen some people saying that the Zoom package is $15. Yes, $15 a month. Yeah. Yes, $150 a year. That's what I have on the website. Yeah. Right. So if you're paying $15 a month, that means you're paying you're basically paying for the year. I don't know how they give you monthly license. For those of you all that get monthly license, good. Thanks. Share it with other people, right? Right. Good. Right. So that will give us time limits, right? The next, so basically the feature sets, the security, and the time limits. Those are the most important things that you could have. And I will add in overall control over what's going on. Zoom is very high, so Zoom will give you a 5 out of 10. Actually, no, I'll take out overall control because overall control is too vague. It's way too vague. Right, so this is basically what the video comparison will look like. Demonstrations of Zoom and demonstrations of Google Meet. I want to be able to do those things next week because I need some other people to testing. All right, so let's go to some questions about these things now. All right, question 1: does the student need to have an MOE account to access Big Blue Button? No. The student could access it once you send them the link. The problem is that because it's a link, it could be shared with anybody, and weird people will come into your classroom. There's no if, but, or maybe about it. If you all saw earlier when I created the Google Classroom, weird people just started coming in the classroom. Once you put a link out on the internet, weird people will find it and they will come into your classroom and cause problems, right? Good question. Maybe WebEx is too expensive. Yeah, WebEx. I don't want to put WebEx in this because WebEx is made for businesses and business video conferencing, and it doesn't really do the school stuff very well. It may have the ability, but it costs money, right? Advise how to get Zoom Unlimited. The only way you can get it is to pay for it. Can you use a green screen on video meetings? Yes, you could use it in Zoom. can you compare sharing screens for those apps? All right, so I can give you sharing screens. I can do that. Pause on the questions for now. I'll come back to the questions. Sharing screens. Out of 5. Sharing screen. Zoom does the sharing screen. Very good. Yeah, like very good. So Zoom will get a 5 in sharing screen. Because you could share and collaborate. Because remember I told you Zoom is very, very, very feature rich. So you could share and collaborate. I'm sorry, I didn't share the screen back right. Good, yeah. Right? So sharing screen, Zoom will give you very, very good. Meet will just give you good, which I'll give you a 4, which you can present, screen, window, or tab. No collaboration. Teams, you could share screen, which is good. But collaboration is technical. Right, the sharing screen on Microsoft Teams is a bit technical. Big blue button, very good. You could share screens really easy on big blue button, and good collaboration. Right? Just remember, sharing screens is cool, but when you're sharing screens and you have poor security, a lot of people could come in on your shared screen and do really, really bad things. So the level of security, you need to be able to understand how you're managing the users coming into the classroom, because when users coming into the classroom with a link, as I said many times, the link could be hijacked a lot. All right, so back to the questions. Can Zoom share videos in the free version? Yes, you could share videos there. Big blue button has a waiting room. Teachers make sure the student uses their real name. Well, it's easy to say that teachers make sure that students use their real name if you're in a disciplined school. But there are some schools where the children not going to use their real name, and you will get Gaza chick coming inside. And you'll be by that waiting room waiting until you can let that child inside because you don't know who they are. Teaching special needs children, do you have any suggestions? Teaching special needs children online is hard. It's really, really, really hard. The most you could do is you could try to video chat with them, but they need a lot of kinesthetics, and I don't know how else to do that. But the Zoom and Google Classroom is in progress. It is noticed that while teachers are teaching, students can be chatting amongst themselves. Can a teacher prevent or disable this function, and how? Yes, you could disable the chat in Zoom. I don't know if you could disable the chat in anyone else, but I know for sure you could disable the chat in Zoom. As I said, Zoom is very feature rich. If everyone is using Zoom, could there be problems with the service? Not really. Their servers are strong enough. So my daughter's school said they're using Microsoft Teams, but it's hard to get in where their codes are shortcuts in there. Yeah, Microsoft Teams is kind of hard to share sometimes, especially with the code, and you need to get the app, and you need to use our account and all kind of stuff. I came in late, so can you go about to set up the parents account in Google Classroom? No, you could just go back to the video. The video will be saved after. You could do that. Can you do a demo of whiteboard on Zoom next week? Yes. If you all want anything done, just leave a comment in this video, right? And I'll look at it and I'll see what I'll do for next week. So demo of the meetings platform, really, because class meetings are this week for some. I wish I had time to do it. It's 9:35 right now. I will try. I'll try. Does each student have to download the Google Meet app? No, they don't have to download the Google Meet app because Google Meet works in the browser. That's the good thing about Google Meet. Hold on, I'll put that in. Google Meet works in the browser only. So one of the big features about Google Meet, works in browser. So you don't need to download an app on the computer to get Google Meet to work. If it's on a phone, of course, you're going to have to use a kid. Purchase Amazon tablet for my kids. Would I be able to access Google Classroom and Zoom? No, you won't get Google Classroom on an Amazon Fire tablet because the Amazon Fire tablet does not install Google apps. A lot of people I've seen on Facebook, a lot of Amazon Fire tablets are selling, and they're telling you that you could do online learning on it. It's not going to work with Google services very well. It will work with Zoom, but the Google services, Amazon and Google services, they don't work very well together. Can you be into Zoom at the same time on 2 different devices? Well, yeah, once they're connected to the internet, but not with the same account. Well, you don't need to put in an account in Zoom anyhow. You could just type in the meeting information. With Google Meet, you must have a Gmail account. Yes. Is Zoom for online class, but for people to talk on because they can't read all that now. My son is using Team in the morning, and for first time, please advise, when will you do Teams? I will try to do Teams next week, Saturday. I really don't have time to go through all that. For special needs students, Zoom has been beneficial for demonstrating and maintaining social interaction since Google. Yes, you could try your best. It depends on the level of the special needs. Can you record Zoom and post it in Google Classroom? Yes, you could record Zoom. Recording Zoom will take up a lot of space on your computer, but you just need to make sure that you download it. And if you upload stuff on your Google Classroom, you might run out of space in your drive, but those are things I'll explain next week. So what times will your sessions be next week, and how do we keep in touch with you further to explain these things more slowly? Next week, Saturday, just come to the same YouTube live at 8 p.m. I will be doing live and demonstrating more things as much as possible. If you want to request something to be demonstrated, you could leave a comment in this video. In your opinion, which platform is better for teachers to use between the Google Classroom and Moodle? Google Classroom is a lot more streamlined and a lower barrier of entry. Moodle is a little difficult to configure and has a higher barrier of entry for people that want to get in. Green screen on Google Classroom, is it possible? Not right now, it doesn't work very well. You could do it via extensions, but next week I'll try to explain about that. What about Skype? Skype is cool, just that Microsoft is not really upgrading Skype as much right now. So if you get Skype to work, you could get like about 8 to 10 people or 16 people maximum on Skype, and it should work. My son's school is using EduPage. Do you have any videos about EduPage? Nope. No, not trying to do the most common ones. Download Google Chrome as an APK on the Amazon Fire tablet and it works, guys. Yes, you might be able to say that. Remember, there are people here that don't even know what an APK is. So saying those technical things are not really going to help the people who struggle the most. What's the best internet provider out there? I don't know. Choose one that works well and you should get the best. Read Physically Challenged, isn't there narration for the blind? I've used platforms at facilities like that. Yes, you can turn on closed captions in Google Meet, and the closed captions in Google Meet work really, really good. Do you get all Zoom features if it's not paid for? Yes, you get almost all the Zoom features if it's not paid for. It's just the time limit will stop you. How do we send a picture as an attachment on a laptop? I don't understand that question. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. That way you will get information on all the things that are going on. Is Big Blue Button troublesome with Apple devices? Yes. Now let me just give a pause one time. Apple devices sometimes give some trouble because of the permissions. Apple is very strict about the permissions that apps are given. So if you install apps on an iPhone or an iPad, there may be some permissions issues that will bounce up. There are a lot of people who will be able to fight through it, which is good, but there's some people who don't understand how to fight through it, so that's not really going to work out too well. Alright, so is Big Blue Button troublesome app? Yeah, answer that question. You can install the Play Store on Amazon tablet and access all apps. There is a very simple process to follow. I'll share it in the WhatsApp group if it's allowed. Yes, you could try, but remember there are people who don't even know how to reboot a phone right now. So we'll think about it. We'll try. We'll figure it out. Alright, so thank you very much for the lesson. Alright, so last thing I want to do is I want to give you all a breakdown of the links of the devices that you can get, right? So the next biggest problem that you're going to have will be devices, and the devices are going to cause you a lot of problems because a lot of people are trying to buy devices, and the devices that you're trying to buy are basically unnecessary or too expensive. Alright, so let's start with teachers, right? Teachers. In the description to this video, I've created some links to some devices that you can use. So the first one is a tablet and pen, right? Now, if I click on this, it's going to lead you to this device here, which is a tablet and pen. This here. This is for teachers who don't know who want to share their screen and who want to write on the board, but they don't know how to do it. You can plug this in via USB, and it'll create literally create let's call this word a drawing pad for you, and you could write on it and it will appear on the screen. So this tablet and pen is for teachers who want to be able to write on their screen and want to use their tablet to use the features in Zoom or Google Meet or whatnot to share stuff, like how I'm using Microsoft Whiteboard and I have a touchscreen laptop. I could write stuff here, so I could write. Everybody will want to be able to do that because it gives you the ability to go through that. But if you don't have a touchscreen laptop, you're going to want to get this tablet and pen, and you'll plug it in and it will connect to your tablet, and you'll be able to write on it as if you were writing on the screen. So I'll show you that again. In the description of the video, you're going to click the link and you could add it to your cart, and you could buy it if you want. That is if you're able to shop on Amazon. For students, let me say this again very, very clearly. For students, I recommend that you get a Chromebook for them. A Chromebook Duet. This is one of the best Chromebooks I could get right now. It's called a Chromebook Duet 2-in-1, and it is going to be a tablet and it's going to have a fold-out keyboard. So it's small. Children are able to use it easily. I've bought this for many people, and it's going to make things a whole lot easier for them because they will be able to interact with their classroom. More than likely, they're going to be using Google Classroom. And because it's a Chromebook, Chromebooks make Google Classroom work well. Because Google makes Chrome, Google makes Google Classroom, and they work well with each other. Chromebooks are very simple to manage. They don't have any viruses to worry about and all that kind of stuff. Chromebooks make things very easy. So if you're going to buy something for a child that is going to have to either be in the class of doing things with productivity, which is they have to type stuff or they have to intake content, you're going to want to get a Chromebook, and I recommend this one here. This Lenovo Chromebook Duet, I think is the best one that you could get, but of course you could get other Chromebooks. Just remember, Chromebooks are dead easy. Once you have the Gmail address, you log into your Chromebook and it works. No problem there, right? For teachers now, teachers who want to teach on their laptop and they want to use a touchscreen like how I am using, right? Where you don't want to have this extra pad at the side. So I use a Lenovo yoga pad, right? So I use Lenovo Yoga. Yoga means you can flip it and it could go from a keyboard, from a laptop to a tablet. So I showed moderate specs and then high-end specs. If you're a teacher and you want to just get things to work, you could buy a cheap laptop and then buy the tablet and pen, plug it in, and it will work. But if you want to do this thing for the long run, you're going to want to get a good touchscreen laptop. So I have this first touchscreen laptop here. I will only show you Lenovo stuff because I believe in Lenovo stuff, right? This one here, Lenovo Flex 2-in-1 convertible laptop. These specs are really, really, really good for the long run. You'll be able to get it for this price, and because the taxes in Trinidad have been removed, you could basically multiply by 7 or 8, and you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to get it at a good price. You could do your maths as if you want to do this for the long run. If you want to do it for the long run also, you could do moderate specs. And moderate specs, you could get this one, the Lenovo Yoga C740. This one is just as good, but this one uses an Intel processor. The other one was an AMD processor. So you could do that one too if you want. That's what I would recommend. And then if you really, really, really want to go hard and you want to be like a long-term online teacher for the next 5 to 10 years, then you're going to want to start to look at the high-end stuff and invest in your craft. Like what I would have had to do, I invested in my craft, and I have a really, really good Lenovo Yoga. Not this one, but it's something that is as good as this. And you'll be able to use this, you'll be able to buy this one, and you get the pen included and all that good stuff, and you are able to teach properly online. Because if you look at it Online teaching is something that is not going to get less. It's going to get more. So you could look at that. And those are 4 devices I have here. I'll most likely update this later with more information. All prices are in USD. Yes, that's on Amazon. I'm not saying that you're going and buy, that you don't have to buy things in Trinidad or whatnot. If you could find good stuff in Trinidad, buy it, no problem. I'm just letting you know that these are the things that I recommend and these are the things I normally use to get my things done. Right? So, and then the next thing that I have in the link will be tech support WhatsApp group for seriously technically challenged people only. Seriously technically challenged people only. So I'm talking about grannies, great aunts, anybody who is really horrible at tech, or people who often say, I don't understand this technology thing now. I don't understand this technology stuff, and I'm done. I'm not going to try this anymore. But you have to get your child to do their online learning. And because your child has to do their online learning, you can't be so afraid of technology that you can't help your child do their online work, because they have to do their online work. So this WhatsApp group, I've been running it for a while, and that's for people who are seriously technically challenged or have really, really technical questions or basic things that they don't know how to do. Some of them will be like, how do you reply to a message on WhatsApp? And I'll just answer it in a few seconds, right? So I have a few people in this group, and we work to help people understand these things. The next group is teachers who want to work towards sustainable solutions. This is not going to be a teachers group where you could come and complain and bash. This is a teachers group where we're going to try to work together to build a sustainable way of teaching online and build a bunch of teachers who are willing to go out and try, not teachers who are going to sit back and complain. Because I see many people complaining about the Ministry of Education, complaining about this, complaining about that and whatnot. If we don't really have time to complain, the children need to learn their work. So if parents get on board and understand that they have to do their part in online learning, and teachers get on board and saying, all right, let's try to figure this out, because believe me, there are teachers out there who are trying to figure this thing out. There are teachers who are trying to work out this thing and try to get it to work. If you are one of those teachers, you could join our WhatsApp group by clicking the link, and we will work towards it and we'll figure it out. Next week, Saturday, when I do the next live, hopefully by during the course of the week, some teachers will join the group, and when I get to talk to those teachers, we could figure out ideas and we could figure out strategies and find things to do, because we're not in this by ourselves. You might come here and you see me and you say, wow, this man real good boy, but there's probably a teacher who's just as good as me. And I want to find that person so that we could all work together to figure out how to do this online thing. So what I'm saying is, if you join that WhatsApp group, it's because you want to come up with solutions and you want to find ways. Yes, I would have demonstrated many, many things here tonight. I would have gone through all of this. This document I'll turn to a PDF, I'll share it out on the screen or whatnot. You will see all of that. But what I want you all to understand is that these groups are not for people who come in on wildness. If you're coming in on wildness, I will remove you from the group. That's not even a question. Anytime you start to forward unnecessary messages inside the group, you will be removed. It is for people who are serious about trying to get this thing to work. And that's all I want to say about the links. Then there are the other links inside here, which will be the social links. There's a link to my website. There's a link to my Instagram account. There's a link to my Facebook account. Right now you're on YouTube. You would have subscribed. If you subscribe to the page, great. You will get more videos. On Instagram, I post videos. A lot of the videos on Instagram are geared towards children. A lot of the videos are geared towards children and teenagers and children who are doing their, let's call this word? Doing CSEC and CAPE exams, because I'm a CAPE IT and computer science teacher. And, well, they say that I'm a really good one, so I'll just tell you that I'm a really good one. So CAPE IT and computer science, if you have any children that are doing those things, you could check it out. Check out makeITsimpleTT.com. Send them to Instagram, because the children on Instagram really love the content that I put out, and they usually like a teacher who doesn't just teach, but a teacher that actually loves tech. And on Instagram, I talk a lot about tech. The Facebook one is more geared towards adults, so a lot more information about things in technology, things that you need to understand, things that we could use, and all that stuff. So if you follow makeITsimpleTT on Facebook, then you will get a lot of the adult content in terms of political views, different things with space exploration, financial stuff, how technology affects us in different ways. If you follow on Instagram, you'll get a lot more of the children stuff, which will be like, things about games, things about devices, and they want to know. And if you go on the website, you will see all the information I have about school and lessons and classes that I do for children to teach IT and computer science. Because my goal in life right now, well, one of my goals in life is to get the Caribbean to a place where we adopt IT so much that we don't think that the rest of the world is good at computers, but we would be the ones that drive our own computing. Because we have the education, we have the knowledge, just that we don't have the mindset. Because we think computers are for the rest of the world. We think that programmers are for the rest of the world. We think that coders are for the rest of the world. And all the Caribbean could do is tourism and whatnot. No, we could create our own technology hubs, and we could self-sustain ourselves with our own technology and our own understanding of it. And I really want the Caribbean to see that. So that's my goal. And if you on that, then you're in the right place. So check that out. And that's it. I was aiming to go till 10 o'clock, but I can't start our next demonstration right now because I would run out of time. So I want to thank you all very much for coming to this live. Next week, Saturday, we do it again, specifically for teachers and parents. Students could come if they want to. Normally on Sunday night, I do things for students. So if you have a student who is doing IT and computer science, let them check the live on a Sunday night. Saturday night for now, we will work on the online learning or whatnot. Right? So go follow the links, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions about what you want to do next week, comment inside this video and I'll kind of figure out what we do next week Saturday. Thank you very much for your time. For those of you all that saying I've been a big help, you're welcome. I'm just glad to serve you all, and hey, we could figure this thing out. We could figure this thing out, and we will be able to educate our children as best as possible. So you all have a great night. Thank you very much. And don't forget to share this video in all your groups. So just like how you share the Facebook video, take this link and share this link like wildfire. Let it go as viral as the other one. Share it in all the WhatsApp groups. Share it with all the people, because all those who weren't here to actually watch the video, at least they'll be able to go back and watch some of the things, right? So remember to share this link like wildfire. Thank you very much for your time. I will see you all next week Saturday. If you follow me on any other places, you might see me before that, but that's okay. Next week Saturday, for those of you all that want to do the online learning and stuff, check me out next week Saturday. Thanks. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody, goodbye.